All right, welcome back. This is turn 18 of the Hypnotic Specter game series, and we are on Jotunheim, middle-aged Jotunheim. We are playing from behind, very much so, but not doing too bad, and I think we can pull out of the hole. A couple important things happen this game. I've got my notes pulled up. Probably most notably, a messenger came from Nazca. And your nation will be destroyed, and your people shall join our legion of the dead. So Nazca has declared war on us. We'll talk about that in a sec. Conjuration is complete. Conjuration 3. Next to complete is Conjuration 4, which gives us some important spells. But I don't actually have the gem income to cast those spells, so I'm going to be reworking a little bit of our site searching to address that. And then there was a battle. We did one battle in the sinks to take this from the undead. So let's showcase that. Scripting Blessing, Divine Blessing with our Prophet. And then from here on out, I think we are going to be casting Sermon of Courage. And then we're going to be doing a lot of banishing of undeads. Look at those Jotun hurlers. Amazing. So not great contact. Our Sacreds kind of ran past the Long Dead. I would have rather the Sacreds hit the Long Dead because they're definitely able to survive that. And all of the other units would not have been able to kill the Giants, but that's fine. We only took a few losses here. Pretty good overall. Unexpected events. We got some Glamour Gems, we lost some Pop, and we've got some Water Gems. So nothing too groundbreaking. This is important. We actually did see Nazca fight a battle, and Nazca lost a province with a fort to some neutrals, so that's good. We also saw some stuff with Machaca, which let's go over right now. So here we are, Jotunheim, southern tip of the map. We've got our human opponent on Machaca directly to our west. And then to the north, we've got Nazca and Naba a little further north, and Vanheim. And we are at war with Vanheim, but as we noted in previous videos, Machaca has been warring with Vanheim, and they've been throwing bodies into the fire of trying to take Vanheim's capital. I did notice that Machaca lost. I assume if, like, we don't have a scout in the province, and we don't have a scout report, but I assume that Vanheim fought them off of their capital. So that's potentially huge, and I wish that I had had this scout in Vanheim last turn to see that. Also, they kind of got hit with a 1-2 punch where Machaca lost this province right here to some neutral knights. So if they want to go through that province, they're going to be going through another set of knights, which means they're probably not collecting income from this one as well, which is probably not that much because it's a swamp, but who cares? So yeah, Machaca is deep in the war with Vanheim, trying to close that out as quick as possible, and it looks to me like they probably lost some sacred units fighting Vanheim. And the total number I saw of the Black Spiders was like 21. So hopefully he lost a good portion of those, and if he did, that's probably pretty backbreaking for him. That being said, Vanheim did move their units into Three Pine Grove. He has a bunch of ghouls sitting in Three Pine Grove. We are not going to defend Panofia or Strongdale. We're just going to let those go and consolidate force in Anidra. So he could move these feasibly into these territories. They do have a little bit of PD, but not that much. So I don't think that we would win just relying on PD. I'm hoping, though, that he just continues to fight with Machaca, but we'll see. I think that those provinces, yeah, this one has a pretty decent amount of income, and it's got this volcano. Wow, 3 fire gems a turn. And it increases heat, but we don't want that. So we don't really have anything to do with fire gems, so we don't really care that much. All right, on to, let's talk about the Nazca War Declaration. So Nazca attacked into Berman Heights last turn, which annoys me that they did an alpha strike basically. They just attacked and war decked in the same turn. It's the AI. Who knows? They just must have determined I was in a weakened position, being playing down, and I'm probably stretched a little thin. My units are kind of all over the place, and we have been trying to secure the interior. And we're mostly done with that now. We do still have this lake to take over here. But yeah, non-flying army. So I think the first thing to note is when I saw this, they attacked from Kepis to here. They also have a force here, 100 estimate units, 140 units here, and 80 undead units here. From Berman Heights, initially I thought, well, they could, as a flying nation, could feasibly attack Towers of Heaven or Gifa. But when I actually looked at, where was it? This battle report, I was like, okay, flying unit, flying unit, flying unit, flying unit, flying unit, and then they have 66 human warriors. And this is important because these are not flying units. So I guess they could technically leave them at Berman Heights and potentially move Kepis down. I'm wondering whether or not this force will move into Tower of Heaven, and this force will move to take in Glaviana. We're not going to defend this right now. The biggest priority is protecting Anidra. We have giant palisades that's going up. Let's see what the construct building. So we have 4 months left to get a palisades up. So that means all of our resources are probably going to go towards ensuring Anidra does not get taken, which it's kind of hard to imagine that they'd do that. Like, they've got this neutral province that they need to take back. If I had to venture a guess, if it was a human opponent, they would move this force back to take this in Glistening Dew. They might take this force and move them here. And then they probably will push into Englavania with this force. So that's what I would do if I was a human opponent, but it's the AI, so it's pretty hard to predict. So yeah, either way, we're going to use it as an opportunity. We're not going to be too passive here. We're going to try to take the Rusty Badlands. I could have waited for these guys to come up, but we are going to go with a Force of Sacreds. Let's see, War Deck. Yeah, we're going to delay our throne and prioritize defense for now, but we're also going to try and take their province. Oh, wait, one more thing before I go into that. I did take an opportunity to say, send Naba, again, AI player, an offer for a non-aggression pact. I'd like to secure that, considering I probably should have been more proactive in doing that with Nazca, but I was kind of hoping that I would go to war with Nazca on my terms. Clearly, that's not the case. So I did send Naba a request for a non-aggression pact. We'll see if that is agreeable. Who knows how the AI makes that decision, but we'll lose some dominion if that doesn't work. So my hope is that we can win some wars, and they want to do that. Also, I do wonder if Naba and Nazca are at war. With Naba having these territories here and here, it suggests like they're probably trading territories. So I'm going to monitor that next turn, see if either of those two territories get traded, or if Naba takes Nam or Dothian. So, yes, that's it. Did I chicken out of this? I did chicken out of this. This says Fort in Linshire. I did produce this commander in preparation to set up a fort in Linshire. I just think it's a little greedy to put a fort up here, and I'm just not prepared to defend that. If I was being mean, I would be raiding my friend's province. But I kind of feel like just being polite this game. He had a pretty bad go of it last game with his spawn location, and so I'm just trying to be polite to a friend on this. So, also it's just greedy. It's like try to put up a fourth palisades here. Like, that's just greedy play. So we're not doing that. Previous turn, we got a notification that there is a more powerful death site here. We need a more powerful death mage to find that. We did recruit this Yarnvidja, who's a death mage 3 and also a nature mage, so I'm pretty happy to make use of this guy. So we're going to figure out what to do with him, but first and foremost, we're going to scout out this known death site on this location. So interested to see what that is. Okay, we talked about Machaca and Vanheim already, so we're going to skip that. Nazca and Nabab, we already talked about that. All right, let's talk about, to close this, this is kind of a new players thing. If you're fighting against flyers, there are some things that you can do to make this increase your odds. Flyers will get in, the strength of flyers is their ability to get into your backline and cause problems. One of the prime examples of this, a lot of people really like Draconians. Draconians are early draconic units that can fly, and they're very strong, and they've got poison, and what ends up happening is people like to fly them into backlines and get pickoffs on mages, on archers, all the units that don't want a flyer just doing that. So I don't entirely know how the mechanics of it work, but flyers do get advantages against certain types of units. I can't recall if it's against cavalry or if against just like line infantry, but either way, I'm going to give an example of how I personally script my armies against flyers. So again, they're going to fly. They're not going to walk across the field like a traditional army. They're just going to go from point A to point B, and oftentimes it's in the back line. So, and if it's not in the back line, we want to be in a position to attack them. So what I've done is script to have all of my sacred units as bodyguards for my commanders that are in this army, and then hopefully we can bait them into attacking these winter wolves, and the bodyguards will move into position and hit them. So yeah, that's about it. These guys are scripted to fire and look for the flyers. I think I need to redo the script on these guys, but I'll do that off of the video. Essentially what I want these guys to do is go after I want them to attack the enemy flyers once they're done doing their standard scripts, which shouldn't be an issue. Like the bodyguard should be moving to position, but either way, this is what you want to do. You want to just kind of keep your units clumped up so that a big clump of flyers can't just drop on a really weak line of units and just take them out really quickly. So, yep, that's it for the turn. I guess big hopes for next turn is that we can secure Mir's circle. We're going to kind of use the random war declaration to try to finish that off, and then we'll probably delay taking Glistening Woods until we can secure this area, get that income. And I'm kind of worried what is in Nazca. Actually, you know what? We're going to move that guy up to Nazca. Yeah, it's going to be kind of risky, actually, making this play, because they could easily just move a huge clump of troops from Nazca into Rusty Badlands. But we're going to be brave. We're going to go for it and not play too passively. I think we really will thrive if we can take territory, and we should have been expanding better than we did, but here we are. So let's do it. All right. Take care.